Hey guys, happy opening day. That's Steve Carney. I'm Jay Recher here
What's up?
with you. Oh my God, it's freaking baseball season, Steve. I know it's kind of preaching to the choir with you because you've been on the road with the Rays so much during spring training, but it's all right, thanks, a little thing there. But it's opening day, man. It should be a national holiday.
Yeah, it really should. I'm excited, and I think if you're a Rays fan, you should be completely geeked about what you're going to see today from this team. I mean, you're looking at a 90-win team coming back and getting its first chance to test its mettle in the 2019 season against the former American League West champions. And you've got probably the best opening day pitching matchup you will see in all of Major League Baseball. Even Scherzer versus DeGrom, I don't care about it. I want to see Blake Snell, and I want to see Justin Verlander, and we're going to get to see that here at Tropicana Field today.
And you know, Ron and Ian, who will be on from noon to 2:30 today, they just want to see if Kate Upton's going to be here. That's the ultimate question for sure.
The answer to that question is yes, she will be here.
Oh.
And no, she will not come on with those two.
Damn it.
Now, if you were hosting solo,
Never know.
I'd be able to work that. I do have a little bit of an in with the Verlander family.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. I know Justin a little bit.
How about Steve Carney, man? If you need a
That's
hookup with Kate Upton.
That's how I met Kate Upton.
Oh, he's a lucky individual. Steve and Jay here with you. Pat and Aaron are on live right now from 9 till noon, and then Ron and Ian take over from noon to 2:30, and then Carney, you take over for Inside Pitch from 2:30.
Yeah, and I'm going to be outside of Gate 1. As I point this way, yes, we're looking out towards center field. I'm going to be the Rays Mobile Studio, which is going to be outside of Gate 1 all weekend long. So I will be there today, and only today, thank goodness, because you don't need a sweaty Carney every day of the week. But it should be a lot of fun. We got some brand new stuff for Inside Pitch, and then of course you'll hear some stuff from the Inside Pitch podcast,
Nice.
which I've been doing every single day. So I'll give you a little taste of that. So if you're not subscribed yet, you want to go subscribe. It's good stuff.
Go do it now. If you have any questions or comments about the Rays opening day,
Throw
them there at the bottom, and we'll do our best to answer them for you. Let's talk about the lineup. Has the lineup been released yet for today?
It has been.
Okay.
It has been released, and so it's not much of a surprise. It's going to be Meadows, and then Pham, Choi, Yandy Diaz is going to hit cleanup.
Okay. All right, Yandy.
Brandon Lau is going to DH today, so we'll have them. Kevin Kiermaier is in the bottom three. The bottom three is that. Kiermaier, Zunino, and Adames. I like having those three at the bottom. You got a fast runner in front of a guy with a lot of power in Zunino, so he can drive him in, and then you've got Willie Adames at the bottom of the order that could end up turning the lineup around.
Yeah, a little double leadoff action for Willie Adames. I'm excited for Willie to get a full year as the main guy, as the shortstop, as the leader, and batting in that 9-hole. It's kind of eerily reminiscent of Derek Jeter's first full season with the Yankees, when before he became that number 2 hitter for the rest of his career, he started in that 9-hole, and he was so productive down there. I wouldn't be surprised if Willie has a really fast start out of the gates, because you would assume that he'd see a lot of fastballs early on in the year.
He is going to see a lot of fastballs early on in the year, and I talked to Jason Stark of The Athletic during the spring, and I asked him who he thought could be the breakout star for the Rays in 2019, and his first thing out of his mouth was, "Can I see Willie Adames?" And I was like, "Of course you can say Willie Adames." Yeah, I agree with you. I think that Willie is poised to have a big year. Talking to him yesterday, and you can hear it on this morning's Inside Pitch podcast, which will drop at 11 o'clock. I talked to him about getting his first opening day here in the big leagues, and how that's actually, most guys think, you get to opening day and that's the culmination. Well, for him, it's just the beginning. He wants to be able to use this opening day to motivate himself to try and be the best shortstop in the American League. I don't know if he can get to that part, because there's a lot of really good American League shortstops, but he wants to be the best shortstop in the American League. He wants to be the guy that when you say shortstop, the first thing you think of is Willie Adames.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you're looking at some of the other shortstops, starting with Carlos Correa and Francisco Lindor, obviously.
Both of whom are not going to play today.
That's pretty
for their respective teams. Correa,
Xander Bogaerts and Didi Gregorius as well, 2 other guys that probably don't get mentioned enough.
And another guy in Gregorius who's not going to play.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go, Willie. You already got a step ahead of those guys. But Carlos Correa out today with a neck injury. They still got a slew full of talent when you're looking at Altuve, Springer, Bregman. A lot of people are very high on Alex Bregman. They're talking about multiple-time MVPs for him coming up. He hasn't even won one yet. I really love the video that came out on MLB yesterday. My cousin actually produced produced it or directed it, excuse me. So if you missed it, go check it out on RonandIan.com. Really good stuff there.
Look at all the talent in this family.
Yeah, I know. I get it from him. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton. I just love that. Mike Trout, let the kids play. It's really kind of the new motto of the major leagues because I don't know, man. I mean, the NHL has a lot of good young talent, too, but you look at those two sports, there's so much young talent in the major leagues right now, and you look at the guy that's on the mound today for the Tampa Bay Rays and Blake Snell, reigning Cy Young winner, and yeah, much younger and doesn't have the kind of experience or pedigree as Justin Verlander, but my gosh, a great year for Blake Snell, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do today against the Astros.
Yeah, and going up against Justin Verlander, I think that he understands that teams are going to come after him, and he's going to get the best from every single team that he goes out and faces this year, starting with the Astros this afternoon. And even the pitchers are going to be gunning for him. You look, all the guys that are going to be gunning for him, Kluber, Verlander, Price,
Cole,
Sale, Porcello, Cole.
All the top guys.
I mean, you had 4 Cy Young Award winners right there, and I think that he's got to be able to keep moving forward. You cannot rest on your laurels. You've got to be able to keep moving forward. I do want to answer Corey's question about Daniel Robertson. Daniel Robertson isn't out, but against a right-hander, he is not going. Especially a guy like Verlander, they're not going to play him. They're going to play Wendell. They're going to play Lau against Justin Verlander, and you probably will see it against Garrett Cole. Well, you might not see it against Garrett Cole. Cole is a little more neutral split, but I certainly think that once you get into the beginning, or I should say the middle of their rotation, the Cole, the Colin McHugh, and the Wade Miley, who is going to be, and you'll definitely see him against Miley on Sunday. Hi, guys. We've got Trey Downey.
Trey Downey and Aaron Jacobson joining us on the program. Of course, he's got the glove, and even though the camera backwards, it looks lefty, but I'm sure on your screen.
Day, baby.
Booyah.
Opening day. That's going to be really cool. Steve Carney and Jay Recher here with you. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, at Steve Carney, at Jay Recher. It doesn't get easier than that. Let's get a CSB shout-out, boys, for Brendan. We got you, brother. Shout-out to the guys over there on the show doing the yeoman's work over there, and you hear the tamp over there. They're getting the bullpen mound ready. They kicked us off the bullpen mound before. Ronnie Lane threw 1 strike right down the middle, and then 7 or 8 more that were hitting the dirt. No, he's fine. He's good. You're good. Do your thing, player. There's nothing more.
Last thing you need is Dan Moeller, the head groundskeeper.
Exactly.
You don't want him on the
run. It's cool that he actually cared if he was bothering us, though. That's the kind of love that we're getting for sure.
No, it's all good.
If you've ever tamped a mound before, listen, when you hit it solid like he's doing it, it's a great feeling. If you don't tamp it the right way and you hit it just off kilter a little bit, it sends a shock right through your whole body. It's one of the worst feelings. It's kind of like your whole body getting hit in the funny bone. It sucks so bad.
And it's like a belly flop as well. It gives you that sting that goes with it.
Not good. If you have any questions or comments, let us know. Steve and Jay here with you. We'll be on for another 5-10 minutes. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Steve Carney, at Jay Recher. Follow the station at 95.3 WDAE. Go to 95.3 WDAE.com. We're the home of the Rays. We're going to be on today. Yep. Carney's going to be on with Inside Pitch at 2:30, and then the pregame show at 3 o'clock with Neil. Then Dave and Andy take over the call, so it's going to be an unbelievable day.
And it's going to be a great pregame show. They're going to have the entire pregame festivities, so like the introductions of the players down the line, at least on the Rays side.
I heard it's going to be different this year, Matt Silverman said. There's going to be like pyro involved, so I think that's interesting because we're in a dome.
We need.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the first inning is in smoke.
They did pyro last year too. They had pyro last year as well.
If I remember, it was a little foggy early on in the game.
It was a little foggy in the game. Although they've got these new LED lights.
What do you think about the lights, Steve? And if you missed it, we got a really badass 360-degree video of the new lights up on our page, RonandIan.com. Engineer extraordinaire Mike Cape did it. It's incredible. Chris Burns, Steve going to run the bases at the end of this Facebook Live. We're not allowed on the field anymore. Nope. We already got kicked out of the bullpen, so we're definitely not going to go on the field. Edgar Joel Crespo Cortez. Yes, we are back up for opening day. Prefer Lowe on right field than Meadows.
Well,
Lau. Oh, yeah, Lau. Okay. Lau on at right field. His grammar threw me off from the low Lau. But I'm with you, man. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but Austin Meadows, I mean, you get him in the deal for Archer, and you're hoping that he's part of the solution and part of the core for the future. And I think this is, to me, Carney, this is the outfield of the future for this team. Pham, Kiermaier, and Meadows, right?
Yeah, I would think so. And then instead of Lau, I think you probably will see when they want to give Meadows a day off, you probably will see Avisail Garcia as well. He's going to get a lot of time DHing. I talked to Kevin Cash about what their thoughts were about trying to give him a couple of extra days off of this turf. He's coming off of off-season knee surgery, and this turf is hell on knees. And he said that he's going to get days off anyway, so they're not going to make any sort of extra adjustments for him about the knees, for his knees, about the turf. But he's going to get time, probably DHing a lot, and then playing in right field when they want to give Meadows a day off. I probably would see Brandon Lau more in left field when they want to give Tommy Pham a day off, and especially when Matt Duffy gets healthy and they end up sending Guillermo Heredia down. I think that you probably will see Lau and maybe Wendell in left field at that point, but I think it'll probably be more Lau than Wendell.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of good players for not that many positions. There's just and I think that's a good problem to have when you look at this team this year. And the other times it's like, well, who's going to play here? And it's almost like it was a platoon out of necessity. I think it's platoon out of a little bit of a luxury this year because you have good players that aren't in the lineup today. I mean, Daniel Robertson to me is one of the more all-around players. We talked to Kevin Cash at FanFest, and he was mentioning how Daniel Robertson is one of the more important players on this team, and he's not even in your opening day lineup. I mean, to me, that just shows that this team's depth is much better than it was a year ago.
It really is, and I think part of that is the work that the front office and the coaching staff has done to make sure that the guys that they have are as versatile as possible. You get guys like Wendell who can play second, short, and third. Robertson can play second, short, and third. Lau can play second base in both corner outfield spots. You've got a guy like Heredia that can play all three outfield spots. You've got Yandy Diaz who can play both corner infield spots. I think that you have a really good mix of players, and really the only thing that this team is missing is a guy like a Craig Biggio who can play second base and catch.
And center field, too.
Center field. Yeah, absolutely.
And also get hit 25 times a year, so it's pretty, or 250 times a year, it seemed like. He always got hit. He is one of those first guys to wear that big old elbow pad. We'll take a couple more questions before we let you guys go. Steve Carney, Jay Recher here from you live from Tropicana Field ahead of opening day today.
Yeah, baby.
What is it, 4:10 first pitch?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Straight up. That's why.
Right on the Dizot. I like that.
So they want to get it going right at 4 o'clock. So you'll have 4 o'clock. That's why the network pregame is starting at 3 instead of 3:30 because they want to give the guys as much room as possible to do all the pregame stuff that they normally have to do, plus get all of the festivities that are going to go on the field. So if you're coming to opening day, of course it is sold out, but of course, mood lighting.
Set the mood.
They turn the LED lights off.
Looks much better on our faces. No, maybe not. Never mind. If you have any questions or comments, put them at the bottom of the screen. Also, do us a favor. Share this on your Facebook. Share. Let us know where you're watching from. We always want to get you guys involved whenever we're doing Facebook Lives here. Wanted to ask you a question about a guy that's going to be starting in the next couple of days, and that's Tyler Glasnow. And a little bit of an adjustment to his delivery, and you see that he's trying to stay back. I get that. It makes a lot of sense for a big guy like that. You don't want to get over your front side too early for a guy like that, and that'll help him, especially with his breaking pitches. The thing that worries me, though, Carney, is you're not able to have that kind of hitch out of the stretch.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to make that necessary adjustment there to make sure that without the pause, he's still able to stay on top of the baseball, be able to throw downhill, and use that height for his advantage.
Not only that, he also has to learn how to control the running game.
Yeah,
that's the one thing
too,
that as big of a guy as Tyler Glasnow is, and it is it's a detriment for guys that are big right-handers.
Yeah.
Is they have a hard time controlling the running game, and so he has to various times to the plate, which means he's going to have to keep his set times different. He's going to have to go with different leg kicks. He can go with a full kick. He can go with a slide step, and he's got to be able to do it all and be able to still command his fastball. I think that is probably probably the biggest thing for him, and the one thing that we saw in the spring that he still needed to work on the most. Not so much the hesitation. I thought the hesitation was fine, but he's got to be able to control the running game, because if a team knows that once they get a guy on first base, basically it's free reign
it's
to
run,
get to
rabbit,
second.
run.
Yeah, it's run Ronnie run, run rabbit. you're going to run.
Yeah, it was an interesting show today with Ronnie and T-Crest. It's definitely, I haven't listened to their entire show in so long because I'm not up between 6 and 9 usually.
Neither am I.
My gosh, those guys are a trip. If you missed anything from them today, they had Matt Silverman on. They also had Eric Weisberg on. They had
Tyler
the chefs Glassnow. They had Ryan Yarbrough. So some great stuff. What happened to Brendan McKay make roster?
No.
I think it's still down the road. I know there was an interesting thing today. Hey, Chris from Tarpon Springs.
Shout out, Chris.
Somebody, I think it was Keith Law, put something about, by the end of this year that Brendan McKay will be on their roster.
No.
I don't see that happening. And if anything, you're going to see Nate Lowe before you see Brendan McKay, right?
Absolutely. And McKay is going to pitch and DH this year. They're taking him out of the
field. I hate when people look at like big prospects and like, he'll be in the majors by the end of the year. It's like, no, they won't. And he hasn't even been above Double-A.
Yeah.
So why would that guy make the jump when you have a guy like Nate Lowe that they're going to give an opportunity to, and you have G-Man Choi, and you have Yandy Diaz? Like, it'd have to be something really catastrophic and cataclysmic to get Brendan McKay playing for the Rays this year. I just don't see it happening.
The only way Brendan McKay is playing for the Rays is if they end up needing like a 15th or a 17th starting pitcher. He's not going to play in the field. He's not going to hit at the big league level this year.
No,
he
definitely
can't.
not.
He's struggled at Double-A to hit. He was hitting like 214 at Double-A. He's got to learn to get better as a hitter, and they think that he can, or else they would just turn him into a straight pitcher and worry about his pitching. I saw him pitch a couple of times during spring this year. He's got really good stuff. They are turning the lights on and off.
On and off. That's how we do it. Quick from Corey wants to know what happened to Christian Arroyo. He just seems he's a whatchamacallit. He's just a victim of the numbers, man. There's a lot of guys that are just as versatile as him, and if he's not going to be able to do better than those guys, he's just going to be in AAA for now.
Yeah, and Arroyo's going to play third base at AAA. And I was looking at the Durham Bulls lineup. Their lineup is so good, I think that they could beat a number of big league teams.
Oh, snap.
I mean, you're talking about you're going to have Christian Arroyo at third base. You're going to have Andrew Velasquez
who
at
saw
second
some time
base.
last year
You're
with
going to
the
have
boys.
Kian Wong at second. You're going to have Nate Lowe at first.
It's not bad, man.
Your outfield is going to be Justin Smolinski, Emilio Bonifacio, and Jason Coates. Your catcher is going to be Nick Schufo, and your opening day pitcher is going to be Jake Faria. That team could beat Baltimore. That team could beat Kansas City.
Yeah.
I think that team could beat Detroit. I think that there's a number. I think that team, if Manny Machado isn't healthy, I think that team beats San Diego.
Yeah.
I think that team has a shot at beating the San Francisco Giants. I really think that the Durham Bulls team is better than a number of teams around Major League Baseball.
Steve, what's your realistic expectations for this team this year? We'll wrap it up on this one. What did you have as far as your preseason win prediction? And with the other forces in the American League, and especially in the American League East, how deep can this team go?
I'm usually a guy that is pessimistic when it comes to numbers. You know that. Mm-hmm. I think this team could win 92 games this year. I
had them at 91.
I'm really excited about this team. And if you're a Rays fan, you should be excited. And I know that people bitch and complain about the drive over here to the Trop, and it's no fun, it's no good. I hate it. It's dreary. It looks awful outside. It's actually really nice inside, and they've got brand new, like I said, the brand new turf. You've got brand new lighting. I'm really excited about it, and you should be excited about this team. And I'm glad that we found out yesterday.
We're hunting. Go ahead.
I'm glad that
He's trying to stay out of the shot. He's so modest.
Who's that? Oh,
there he is.
Neil.
We're hunting Neil Solons. Neil Solons. He's going to be on after Carney at 3:00 today. And there's Trey Downey.
Downey's hanging out here.
Awesome stuff. But I'm with you, man. This should be. And the thing is, more importantly, win or lose, no matter what their win total is, this is a very, very entertaining group to watch. And a couple years ago, when they had all that power,
they were
hit
so
all
boring.
Those solo home runs. It was like if they don't hit a home run,
they're not going to score a run.
But this team, I mean, it's incredible, man. I love Willie Adames. I think he's a natural-born leader. He's a guy that exudes confidence. He's one of those guys that just brings up the level of other players. And even last year, when he still wasn't an everyday kind of guy early in the year, there was like stories of him going up to everybody and just saying hello to them, and like those little things go a long way, especially I think more in baseball because it's an everyday grind and you have to find the little things to make you laugh and to have fun and to be able to break up the monotony a little bit. So you have a guy like that at short, that's incredible. You have KK, fingers crossed that he could stay healthy this year. I think KK's he's poised for a big year. If he could stay healthy, Carney, with this lineup, and I think you put him in a position to succeed batting in the bottom three, he could be a real factor this year. People say Tommy Pham could be an MVP candidate, but if Kiermaier can get that average up to 280, 290, to me, and I've been critical of him not being able to hit the ball the other way, but if he can hit 280, 290 and pop 20 home runs and give you that platinum glove defense, you could hear Kevin Kiermaier's name in the MVP conversation. He's just that good of a defender.
Just think about this. Kevin Kiermaier has missed more than 2 months in each of the last 3 seasons because of freak injuries. And in that time, he still won a Gold Glove, and he was still above replacement player level on the at the plate as well. Even last year, when he started out so badly and then tore his thumb ligament and lost 2 months of the season, he still finished above replacement player level. With all of that went on and all of the struggles that he had at the plate, fouled the ball off of his foot in Boston in the first road series and had a bone bruise that he dealt with all year long, and it never went away during even when he was on the disabled list at the time. I really think that if Kevin Kiermaier can play 145 games this year, you're going to see a guy that will provide not just the defense that we all know that he can provide and will provide. I think he could provide a whole lot of offense as well. And Kevin Kiermaier, by the way, somebody was asking about him hitting in the 9th spot. He's going to hit 7th today, and Willie Adames is going to hit in the 9th spot.
I like that. I think it works out really well for the Rays, and we're very excited. We're going to do these throughout the year, a little back and forth with you guys. Make sure you guys are listening to us on 95.3 WDAE. Pat and Aaron are on right now.
And do me a favor. Will you watch or listen to the Inside Pitch podcast on iHeartRadio? Just search for Inside Pitch podcast, and you can catch it out on Twitter at Inside Pitch Pod. And so
do it. That's Steve Carney. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Steve Carney. Follow me at Recher. Follow the station at 95.3 WDAE. Go to 95.3WDAE.com for the best Rays coverage. We're the home of the Rays. Buck. Thank you, Buck. Neil Solondz are going to join Pat and Aaron. They're on until noon today, and then Ron and Ian will take over from noon to 2:30, and then Carney with the Inside Pitch from 2:30 to 3, and then the Rays pregame with Neil Solondz. He's talking to Trey right there from 3 to 4, and then Dave and Andy first pitch at 4 o'clock. Opening day today. It should be a national holiday. We'll see you guys next time right here. Go Rays.